Hi guys, it's Zaphod here, back from a kind of unofficial, I just disappeared for a little while there, but there's a lot of really good reason for it. As I mentioned, I was going to Emerald City Comic Con, which was fantastic, by the way. So many cool people, a lot of awesome things. It's going to be 4 days next year, which is going to be fantastic. And we had friends up from Colorado. We got to see them. It was really, really cool. But in addition to all that, that weekend, I also got engaged, which is pretty awesome. So, pretty excited about that. So yeah, I've just been kind of really busy. I don't know if you guys have done this before, but apparently wedding planning is very complicated, especially if you want to do it in 6 months and you have huge families. So, tips for other people. I don't know. I'll let you know if I come up with anything. But anyway, I am back, and it is a fantastic week to be back and talking about comics because there's so much amazing stuff to start out with. Like, I'm just going to tell you the one. I'm really, really excited, super excited to welcome back into my life the next and last installment. This is the first issue of The Legacy of Luther Strode. For those of you who don't know what this is, I'm sorry, but let's educate yourself. So Luther Strode started with The Strange Talent of Luther Strode. It was Justin Jordan's original breakout comic, and Tradd Moore. They did this really crazy story about this guy, this kind of weak, nerdy little guy who gets mails in and gets the method. It's a way that he can become like the strongest ultimate man. But it turns out that this method thing is from like the secret death cult, and there's blood and action and blood and awesomeness and crazy muscles and punching through people. It's insane. And anyway, so that was the first story, The Strange Talent of Luther Strode, and then there was The Legend of Luther Strode, and that was also like even more punchy and bloody and awesome and incredible. And so this is the last installment in that story, the Legacy of Luther Strode. So if anything I've described with the punching and the bloodiness sounds awesome to you, and it should, and if you aren't familiar with Tradd Moore's art, the first 3 pages, I just was like, and I'm not exaggerating, this really, really, hold on, really excited. I really loved the first 2, but this is everything. This is the first thing Justin Jordan has done, and it is my favorite thing he has done. And I'm really excited, but also really sad that it's going to be ending here with this last series, but please, it needs to be read if you haven't read it, and that sounds in any way appealing to you. It is one of my favorite things. It really is. Speaking of favorite things, I have Saga here, Saga number 27. I absolutely love this cover here with Hazel. So this issue picks up right after that, that super crazy thing that happened at the end of the last issue. Yeah. This is a crazy issue, really, really good. I love the series so much, and I feel really unobservant, and I'm not sure when this happened, but I know my guy, my fiance, as it were, had noticed this before I did, that Fiona Staples is actually billed first on here, which I think is really cool. And Brian K. Vaughan and a lot of other cool creators have talked about how their artists really do put in so much more work and a lot of time and blood and sweat and tears. So it's really cool seeing her get first billed on that, especially when you see how gorgeous her interiors are there. Sorry. Then we have Walking Dead number 140 here. Sorry, I'm kind of in a weird corner where I've got bad lighting. We're still kind of in post-unpacking from Comic-Con / house explosion of weddingness, so I don't have like a good station to do this at. But anyway, this has been really, really good. I try to do this without spoilers once again, so I'm not gonna give away anything. But it's really cool seeing how, because there is a time lapse, and it's cool to see how the characters have changed a lot. And there's a really nice note to the readers from Robert Kirkman, so if you guys have been following along for a little while, you should check that out, because it's sweet. That's what happens when you smoke weed right before doing a video. You get a thirst upon you. Then, this has been an insanely good week for comics. So excited. We have Birthright number 6. This is the beginning of the new arc. Last week we had the beginning of the new arc of Nailbiter, which I didn't get to talk to you guys about because I was being lazy poop. But this is... I actually got a chance to meet Joshua Williamson at Emerald City. He is one of the nicest, coolest people, but he's a bit of a bastard when it comes to his comics. They are so... Every issue of this is epic. Like, I'm waiting for the slow issue where, you know, a little bit of character development, but not a lot happens. But there's always so much development and so much happening in this series. It is, if you like fantasy and you like a good story and amazing art, you really should be reading this book. This is one of my favorite new things that's happening right now. So yeah, there's crazy new happenings with this arc, so be prepared. And I'm really excited for what's going to come. Whatever that may end up being. Then we have Rat Queens number 10 here. There's a lot of stuff happening in this issue, and it's really cool to see that after a little bit of a break that this book took due to things that the new artist here, Stefan Cedric, apparently he's cool with just being called Steven, so I guess I will just give up and call him that, which is a little disappointing to me. But I can't figure out it right. Even I like to pronounce people's names right, and it bothers me when I don't, but I can still butcher everything anyway. But yeah, it's really cool seeing this coming out on time. The art in it is fantastic. I really like seeing his take on the characters, and there's a lot of really fun stuff happening. There's a lot of action, a lot of other stuff. Yeah. Anyway. This doesn't mean anything if you haven't read it, I'm sorry, but, you know, note to self, don't smoke right before doing a video. Anyway, Descender number 2. Oh, this is a fantastic second issue to what is going to be a fantastic series, I'm feeling, but it's a very surprising second issue. A lot has happened already. But the creators say that they're both in it kind of for the long haul, so I'm really excited to see where this is going and the journey that they're planning on taking us on, because it's very bold and it's very good so far. Sorry, just saw the next comic in my stack. Big Man Plans. Oh my gosh, this comic is so fun and ridiculous. And out, as it says here, out for vengeance. That's pretty much everything this comic is about. If you like ridiculousness and violence and murder just for the sake of murdering sake, this is fantastic. It's Eric Powell doing his thing with Tim Weish. Weish? Yeah, that's what I'm saying about pronouncing names. I'm bad at it. But it's fantastic and ridiculous and very offensive at times, so if you're easily offended by language or anything like that, maybe not the book for you, but if that strikes your fancy, this could totally be the book for you, because it's awesome. Yeah. So those are the comics that I read previously, and then the comic that I read earlier today, starting the day off right after smoking, which is a great comic. If you smoke weed, read this comic right after doing it. It is trippy as hell already, and that is fantastic. This comic is fucked up and fascinating, and it's very strange. It is, Grant Morrison is a strange man, but this is very strange. I'm really enjoying whatever is happening, and it's a very, as I said, strange story, but there's really cool developments. There's it's a big crazy universe that they're building here, and I'm really intrigued and worried to see what happens next. So then I jumped into a couple of the Convergence ones. I read 2 of the 4 that I picked up. I have yet to read the Question or the Batman and Robin one, although I am looking forward to those. I'm not actually reading the main Convergence title. It seems kind of silly, I guess. So my basic understanding of it is that they are pitting different cities and heroes against each other, which is cool, I guess, except for the fact that you're pitting all these pre-New 52 characters that I really enjoy, and you're throwing them up for what is going to be like 2 issues, and then you're going to just... I imagine they're just going to throw them away again after that, because it seems like all the new reboot stuff is kind of just continuing with the 52 style. So I'm not really sure what the point of it is, but I liked seeing Stephanie Brown as Batgirl again. That was pretty cool, because she's my favorite Batgirl. But I still think this convergence thing is silly. It's like, okay, you have a champion and you fight them. So, but anyway, not my favorite Stephanie Brown story. The way she's written isn't quite the way I feel she... But it's fun, it's cool, cool seeing her under the cowl there. But these events always make it, you just kind of have to force the story into the little nutshell that they have for you. And they did an okay job with this one, but they did Gail Simone, I think, did a much better job throwing in the convergence thing into hers, which was the Nightwing Oracle one. It's actually told all from the point of view of Oracle. And I actually really liked this one. I still think the convergence thing is silly, but I enjoyed it. She did had a more of an organic story tying into it. At least transitioned it a little better there. And yeah, no, I loved seeing Oracle. I really like her. I love Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, don't get me wrong, but I loved her more as Oracle. I thought she was really cool and fantastic and badass, and I was kind of sad that they took that away. But I am happy to see her back. I'm just sad that I feel like it's just a tease. And I feel silly because I had one more comic that I read that I forgot to bring in here for you. It is Rebels. Picture that I'm holding a Revolutionary War cover from Dark Horse. It is by Brian Wood and Andrea Mutti. And you got Jordi Belair on art there. So if you like historical works, this takes place during the Revolutionary War, from the viewpoint of a young revolutionary and his upbringing and his apparently pivotal part in the role. It looks like it's going to be a 6-issue mini there. The art's gorgeous. It looks cool. So if you like, you know, if you're into looking for something that's not superhero and you dig a historical vibe to it, this one could be for you. So yeah, I might trade weight on this one just because it's another thing in a very large pile. But yeah, so sorry if I seem scattered tonight. I don't usually partake before doing my videos, but I wanted to. So yeah, deal with it. Anyway, I'm happy to be back. I'm loving my new job. Loving life, and I'm doing a bunch of nerdy comic-y crafts to incorporate into my nerdy wedding that I'm gonna have. So yeah, I might talk to you guys a little about it here and there, but I'll try not to bog you down with it because I know you are really here for the comics, and that's what I try to give to you. Anyway, if you have any thoughts, comments, or concerns, I don't know, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter. I post on there sometimes. At Lady Zaphod, all one word, Zaphod, Z-A-P-H-O-D, same thing on Instagram, and yeah, that's it for me this week. Have a good one.